Hi everyone, it's Rax, and we just got the patch notes for Season 24 of Diablo 3. Let's go through and see what's coming. So the public test realm is coming next Thursday on June 17th, so I will be blasting all day long, and we will see all the cool new stuff. This is just a bunch of stuff about what's going on in the PTR, so let's go straight into the notes. Developer's note. Diablo 2 left us with fond memories when it released more than 20 years ago. And with Diablo 2 Resurrected coming soon, we'd like to introduce a feature to honor that legacy. For this seasonal theme, our inspiration took shape by reimagining how ethereal items could manifest in Diablo 3. In Season 24, ethereals are rare, powerful, and fleeting items with 21 iconic weapons from Diablo 2 returning to the game. So they're going to bring ethereal items in. They're a weapon type. They have powerful sets of affixes. This is going to be important. We're going to talk about this later. And it's going to have a random class weapon legendary power and a class passive power. To me, the important thing here is the powerful set of affixes. We'll get to that in a second once we get to the end. They're going to have cool, unique icons, names, item types originally found in Diablo 2. And here's a ton of information about ethereals. We can go through it very quickly. They're account bound. They can only be dropped by monsters, chests, and destructibles, so it looks like we can't craft them. They do not require your character to be level 70, so you might get a godly one while you're leveling up. They cannot be acquired through Kanai's Cube or from Kadal. So you got to kill monsters and pick them up, and you can pick them up while you level. The rarity drop is between ancient and primal items, and ancient is like 1 in 10, and a primal is like, depending on who you ask, it's like 1 in 400. So somewhere between there, so you will find them if you play. There are 3 unique ethereals per class. Each ethereal has fixed affixes and rolls 1 random legendary weapon power and 1 random class passive skill. So you will have to get the legendary power that you're looking for on your ethereal. Only 1 ethereal can be equipped at a time. Ethereals ignore durability loss, which is different from Diablo 2. The powers and class passive skills do not stack with the same powers in Kanai's Cube. That makes sense. They can't be enchanted, transmogged, dyed, reforged, or traded, but they can be augmented. So the question is can we put a Ramaladnes in an ethereal? That's like the remaining question that I have. If you collect all 21 of them, it's going to reward you with a feat of strength, and it's going to give you the transmog options for future seasons and non-seasons. So it will encourage you to play all the different classes, and you can hunt for all of the ethereals to unlock the transmogs forever on your account. And this is only in seasonal play. Let's read through everything, and then I'll tell you my thoughts on it. So the item change. The monk skill change, fire ally is going to split into 2 instead of 5, but now all fire allies can split. The damage radius is increased slightly, and the damage increase is from 480 to 1920. So that's a significant buff. And another significant buff to the Earth ally going from 380 to 4,500. And the wizard skill change, the mirror images are just going to display a counter to show you how many are active. So that's just going to be a quality of life improvement on the UI. So they're going to change Ina's set this time. And before we read the changes, it played similarly to the other monk sets, and it didn't have a strong identity, and they want to see Mystic Ally play a more important role rather than just providing a passive power boost. So we're going to gain the base effect of all the mantras. We're going to get damage reduction for all of our Mystic Allies. I think you can have 10 out, so it's 50% damage reduction, and they're not going to take damage. And the 6th piece, we gain the passive abilities of the 5 runed Mystic Allies. Attacking enemies creates your Mystic Ally. That lasts 15 seconds, stacking up to 10 of them. So it's a little bit confusing. I'm guessing attacking them is going to summon your Mystic Allies. That's how I take it, but maybe I have that wrong. But attacking enemies creates your chosen Mystic Ally. So I guess we're going to have Mystic Allies everywhere. And the damage of the Mystic Allies is increased by 950 for each Mystic Ally you have out. So this should be a big buff. And we should have Mystic Allies everywhere, just mowing everything down. Crutus Boots, Mystic Ally now summons 2 Mystic Allies that fight by your side. They deal 300 to 400% increased damage, and they're able to attack with their active forms longer. And the Binding of the Lesser Gods, enemies hit by Cyclone Strike take 400% increased damage from Mystic Ally, and the Split Fire Allies gain 5 times this bonus. So it's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around exactly how this will play and how it will work, but essentially they're taking a set, Ina's Mantra, which is really never used, and they're buffing it. So I'm very glad to see Blizzard, taking a bad set and improving it. That shows that, they understand, which sets are underpowered. Of course, there are tons of other underpowered sets for other classes that they could look at, but Ina's definitely needed a rework. People are going to have varying opinions on this. I personally find pet builds to be fun. I like the idea of summoning an army of pets and just mowing everything down. Some people don't think that's a very active play style, but I will be looking forward to this, and I will absolutely be blasting it on Thursday to see what it can really do. So, Aegis of Valor and Bone Spear, 2 of the absolute strongest builds in the game, they are nerfing them. And they said Aegis of Valor and Bone Spear have been overperforming for several seasons. We're adjusting these sets in the interest of competitive variety. Well, I got to give it to him that it's true. The Heaven's Fury Valor set and the Masquerade of the Burning Carnival Bone Spear are probably the 2 strongest builds in the game, along with the new Firebird mirror images. So Valor is going to 125 stacking 3 times. So that's 375% increased damage. It used to be 100% 3 times multiplicatively. And I did the math on it, and that turns out to be about a 3-tiered nerf. So it's not going to crucify Aegis of Valor. It's still going to be really good. Probably still be close to an S-tier build, maybe still S-tier. But they're nerfing it about 3 tiers, which I definitely think needs to happen. This build is just way too strong. Now, the Bone Spear, on the other hand, it used to be 10,000%, and Sims used to get triple. So Sims would get 30,000, and now it's Bone Spear cast by you and your Sims both deal 6,000. Again, I did the math on it, and if my math is correct, that's about a 10-tier nerf. So Bone Spear is going to be knocked down pretty significantly, and it may not even be the best Necromancer build. So I'm interested to hear what you guys feel about that. I think Aegis of Valor is going down about 3 tiers, and Bone Spear is going down about 10, if my math is correct. But regardless of the magnitude of the nerfs, again, one thing that I'm happy with in Blizzard is they're fixing sets that really suck, and they're nerfing sets that are just too powerful. It looks like they are aware of what's strong and what's not in their game, and they're doing a good job in balancing it now. Whether you agree with the magnitude or not, you can let me know in the comments, but they're at least going after the right things. So let's go back to Ethereals for a second. The first thing that I want to say about it is I think it's just a really cool idea. I really think that Blizzard is showing us that they can take the time to make a really cool seasonal theme. It's not just like double bounties or double goblins. This is a cool, brand new idea of bringing a whole new item class into the game. And I personally, some people may feel differently about this. I like the fact that they give us an opportunity to hunt all of them for a reward. I'm always dying in Diablo 3 for something to do, like a goal to achieve. And, some people may, not like to play all the different classes, but for me personally, again, my opinion, I think it's fun to go out here and try to hunt all of these in one season for a big reward. So the idea of it is very good. But let's think about what Ethereals are going to do for a seasonal theme, and think about the design of them and whether they're going to make a big difference or not. So remember, it rolls a powerful set of fixed affixes. That's the thing that is really important, though, about what that means. And a random legendary power and a random class power. So let's go to paint. You guys are about to see how terrible my paint skills are. Let's take a weapon, because ethereals are weapons. So currently a weapon goes with like 1940 damage as the top end on a one-hander. And then what are the affixes that you go for? You go for 10% damage, and then maybe you go for 7% increased attack speed. And then maybe you go for 10% cooldown reduction is like the best that you could get on a weapon. And of course, it has a legendary power, you know, whichever weapon you're going for. So let's see what ethereal items could do for us. Well, it gives us a random legendary power. So we're going to have to go for the one that we're looking for. And it's going to give us a random passive for our class. So the way we can think about it is it's like a Hellfire in that it gives us our 5th best passive. And then the big question mark is what comes up here for these list of powerful stats? So let's talk about, first of all, it's going to be hard to get the legendary power that you're looking for to land on your ethereal item, okay? And a 5th best passive, the way that I think about that is I zoom out and I think about the question of a seasonal power should increase your power level by how much? Should it be 1 greater if tier? Should it be 3? Should it be 5? Should it be more than that? And by the way, 5 is already more than doubling your damage. You need more than double damage to go up 5 tiers. Double damage is like 4.5 tiers. So, just as it is, without looking at this stuff up here, without considering what Blizzard is going to do for these powerful stats, a 5th best passive, no matter what class, even for classes like Wizard or Barb who could get a lot from it, is not even going to give you 1 tier. You're not even going to get 1 tier out of this. Okay? And the legendary power just makes it more difficult to get right because you're just trying to get the legendary power that you're hunting for. So this isn't a buff at all. So now, all of a sudden, all of my interest comes up here. What are they going to do here? And to me, they have 3 different options. They could give you better stats. Like, for example, instead of 1940 damage, maybe the best you could roll is 2500. That's one option. They could make the stats better. They could give you more stats. Okay? Instead of just getting the 10% damage and the 7 attack speed and the 10 CDR, maybe in addition to those, you get 1000 main stat, and you get 1000 vitality, and you get the 24 area damage. Now all of a sudden you're starting to get some significant power out of your weapon. Another thing they could do, if you played Diablo 2, is you could give new stats, and it just depends on how crazy they want to get with it. Maybe now all of a sudden you can magically roll 100% crit hit damage on an ethereal item, or it comes with it. Or maybe they do something crazy like Enigma in Diablo 2, and they give, if you put on this ethereal item, you get Dashing Strike from a monk. You now all of a sudden can use it. And Dashing Strike is widely regarded as the best movement skill in Diablo 3. And you can let your mind imagine. Or are they going to do a combination of these things? Maybe the stats are better and you get more of them and there are new ones. Who knows? But this is a big playground right here that I am going to be extremely interested in because, remember, currently the things that we know, the 5th best passive, is not even going to give me 1 tier. But depending upon how many tiers, I mean, do they want to make it 10 tiers, which is super obnoxious? How many tiers of power do they want to give us? It's going to be extremely interesting to see what comes out of this. I don't know. What do you guys think? So that's what I take. That's what I take from it. That's my opinion on how everything looks. Really cool idea. I'm super interested in the powerful set of affixes. I'm very okay with all of these guidelines that they've put in for ethereal items. I'm very glad that they don't break in the middle of the season. Instead, they're just going to disappear at the end of the season. I think that's a much better option. I don't want my awesome weapon to break in the middle of my push. I'm very happy that they buffed this set, which previously sucked. And I'm not sure that a 10 tier nerf to Bone Spear, that's a lot. I'm not sure I agree with that. I'm okay with seeing how 3 tiers goes for Aegis of Valor. But I'll tell you what, the fact that Bone Spear goes down, Valor goes down, and Firebird's Mirror Images hasn't been nerfed, I think everyone's going to be playing Wizards next season. I think Wizards are going to rule, unless this Enos thing absolutely dominates, and maybe we could have rat runs with Enos, and we can have rat runs with Mystic Allies running everywhere. Really cool stuff from Blizzard, though. They are not just throwing Diablo 3 to the wayside. They are actively trying to make the game better, and I think that they're succeeding in that. Let me know what you guys think down below, and remember, next Thursday on the 17th, the moment that this is released, I will be blasting this, and we will acquire everything, and we will test everything, and we will provide the feedback. So if you want to see it live, I'd love to have you on the stream. But until then, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and the weekend's coming up, so have a great weekend.